In the glittering world of Hollywood, where dreams come true and stars are born, one name shone brighter than most: Natalie Wood, a talented actress with captivating beauty. She seemed to have it all: fame, fortune, and a loving marriage to fellow star Robert Wagner. But on a fateful night in November 1981, the sparkle of her life was extinguished beneath the cold, dark waters of the Pacific Ocean. Her mysterious death would become one of Hollywood's most enduring and chilling enigmas, a tale that continues to haunt the entertainment industry to this day. As the sun set on November 28, 1981, Natalie Wood, Robert Wagner, and actor Christopher Walken boarded the luxurious yacht Splendor for what was meant to be a relaxing weekend getaway to Catalina Island. The air was filled with promise and excitement, the kind that only Hollywood royalty could generate. 3 stars, a party at sea. It sounded like the perfect scene from a glamorous film. But as the night wore on, this idyllic scenario would transform into a horrific tragedy, forever altering the narrative of their lives and leaving behind a mystery that would perplex investigators for decades to come. The evening began pleasantly enough, with the trio enjoying dinner and drinks aboard the yacht. Laughter echoed across the deck as they reminisced about old times and discussed future projects. But as the alcohol flowed freely, so did the tensions. What started as friendly banter soon escalated into heated arguments, particularly between Wagner and Walken. The subject of their disagreement, Natalie's career. Witnesses would later recall hearing raised voices and the sound of shattering glass. Around 11 p.m., Natalie was last seen storming out of her cabin, visibly upset by the escalating conflict. The warm California night swallowed her up as she disappeared into the darkness. No one saw her leave. No one heard her cry for help. And by the time dawn broke, the yacht's dinghy was missing, along with the radiant star herself. The following morning, as the fog lifted from the waters surrounding Catalina Island, a grim discovery shattered the tranquility of the picturesque coastline. Search boats and helicopters scoured the area, their crews hoping against hope to find Natalie alive. But their worst fears were confirmed when her body was found floating about a mile from the yacht. The vibrant actress, known for her roles in classics like Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story, was now lifeless. Her story cut tragically short. The initial investigation ruled Natalie's death as an accidental drowning. But as details emerged, more questions arose than answers. Why was she in the water? How could no one have heard her calls for help? And perhaps most disturbingly, where did the bruises found on her body come from? The autopsy report revealed a high blood alcohol content, but it could unexplain the circumstances that led to her being in the water alone on that cold November night. As news of Natalie Wood's death spread, Hollywood was plunged into mourning. Fans across the world struggled to comprehend how such a beloved star could meet such a tragic end. The case was closed as an accident, but whispers of foul play and cover-ups began to circulate. Some believed that the truth of what happened on the Splendor that night was being concealed, protected by the power and influence of those involved. For years, the mystery of Natalie Wood's death lay dormant, a dark cloud hanging over the glittering facade of Tinseltown. But the truth has a way of fighting to the surface, and in 2011, nearly 3 decades after that fateful night, the case was dramatically reopened. The catalyst for this renewed investigation. A startling change in testimony from Dennis Davin, the captain of the yacht Splendor. Davin's new account painted a far more sinister picture of the events leading up to Natalie's disappearance. He claimed that a major argument had erupted between Wagner and Wood just before she vanished, and that Wagner had prevented him from turning on the searchlights or calling for help. These revelations cast a shadow over Robert Wagner, transforming him from the image of a grieving husband to a person of interest in his wife's death. As investigators pored over old case files and new evidence, the public's fascination with the case was reignited. The story of Natalie Wood's death once again dominated headlines, proving that even decades later, the allure and mystery of Hollywood's golden age still held the power to captivate audiences worldwide. The reopening of the case brought with it a flood of theories and speculations. Some believed that Natalie had simply slipped and fallen while trying to secure the dinghy, a tragic accident exacerbated by her intoxicated state. Others pointed to the tumultuous relationship between Wood and Wagner, suggesting that a jealous rage might have led to a fatal confrontation. And still others wondered about the role of Christopher Walken, the third star present on that ill-fated night. As the investigation progressed, more details emerged that seemed to contradict the original findings. The bruises on Natalie's body, once dismissed as inconsequential, now took on new significance. Experts questioned whether they could have been sustained in a simple fall, or if they pointed to a more violent encounter. The timeline of events was scrutinized, with investigators trying to piece together the crucial hours between Natalie's last sighting and the discovery of her body. Despite the renewed efforts and public interest, concrete answers remained elusive. No charges were ever filed, and Robert Wagner, while named a person of interest, was never formally accused of any wrongdoing. The case of Natalie Wood's death became more than just an unsolved mystery. It evolved into a legend, a cautionary tale about the dark underbelly of fame and the secrets that the rich and powerful can keep hidden. Today, more than 4 decades after that tragic night, the death of Natalie Wood continues to fascinate and perplex in equal measure. It serves as a chilling reminder of the darker side of Hollywood, where the line between reality and fiction can blur, and where the truth can be as elusive as stardom itself. The waves that claimed Natalie's life still crash relentlessly on the shores of public consciousness, carrying with them unanswered questions and unresolved doubts. In the end, the story of Natalie Wood is not just about a possible murder or a tragic accident. It's a tale of a star extinguished too soon, of a life cut short at the height of its brilliance. It's a mystery that continues to captivate, a puzzle that may never be fully solved. As we look back on that fateful night in November 1981, we re-left to wonder, will the truth of what happened to Natalie Wood ever come to light, or will it remain forever hidden? Another dark secret in the annals of Hollywood history. The image of Natalie Wood, her gaze distant and haunting, seems to hold the answer to these questions. But like the yacht's splendor, now adrift in the murky waters of memory and speculation, the full story may be lost to time, leaving us with nothing but theories, whispers, and the enduring legacy of one of Hollywood's brightest stars, whose light was extinguished far too soon.